Yeah, so I think one of the first things is let's go to the NFC Championship game yesterday with the Rams and the Seahawks. So I think one of the places I want to start with, excuse me, is the story of Sam Darnold, right? Is obviously something that you've probably heard a lot now in the past is first he's going to be the first quarterback to start in the Super Bowl from the 2018 class. And you had other guys such as Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, I believe, came out then. He has back-to-back 14-win seasons. It's the first time that someone's done it with two separate teams. Um, and then for Seattle, you have, and well, actually, let's go back to Sam Darnold for a minute, right? You have, the Jets, that didn't work out. Carolina, that didn't work out. San Francisco, he wasn't a consistent starter. He's been in so many different places, and he's really not the first guy you would have thought would have been a starter here in the Super Bowl for one of the best teams. They're the one seed in the NFC, and they're going to be favorites. I think they're 4.5 right now. But also, the Seattle thing, this could be one of the most fulfilling championship runs in a fan base history, really, or I'm not going to say it's one of the best or anything like that. I'm just saying one of the most fulfilling given the circumstances in the past, right? Well, it's not really circumstances, but the fact that there would be two divisional rivals in the playoffs in San Francisco and LA. And now they have the opportunity for Super Bowl 49 rematch. Obviously, we remember what happened in that game with the Russell Wilson getting picked off at the very end, right? And the Patriots won that game. So now that they have the opportunity to not only win a Super Bowl having beaten two divisional rivals, they're going to be able to do it with a Super Bowl 49 rematch. And finally, Mike Macdonald is the third youngest head coach to make it to the Super Bowl for the first time with Sean McVay and Mike Tomlin. And let's go back to the game. We talk about Sam Darnold. This was the biggest game of his life. Third downs, he went 6 of 10, 105 yards and a touchdown, including that Cooper Kupp catch towards the end for the first down. 7-11 for 164 and 2 touchdowns on 10-plus yard throws. And overall, 25 for 36, 346 yards and 3 scores, right? His last playoff game with the Vikings was a 27-9 loss against the Rams. And now he comes back doing it for a different team and absolutely balls out. And this was an absolute quarterback battle. Matt Stafford had 3 touchdowns of his own. He played really, really well in his own right. But let's dive into it a little bit more. You had Matt Stafford playing really well, and you have a team that was able to get it done over the Rams once again, right? And one of the things that we've really noticed with the Seahawks is obviously we know how good their defense is. We'll get into that a little bit later when we do early Super Bowl prediction. But this team has shown that they're able to win games in shootouts. They're able to win games with their defense, and they're able to win games whether Sam Darnold is playing well or not. Obviously, he's played really well in these playoffs, but they've shown that even if he's turning the ball over and not having a characteristic game, they're still able to step up. And so we go to the Rams, is like the Xavier Smith muff punt. Special teams has been a problem for the Rams for a very long time throughout the season. They've gone through special teams coordinators, and that just, again, that just causing turning points in a game such as the NFC Championship in a tight game, just not something you want to do. And then obviously you go towards the end, the 4th and 4 stop by Devin Witherspoon on that 4th and 4 play that would have ultimately given the Rams the lead, unable to do so. And then you had Sam Darnold and company able to close the game out after that. So, a game that was the Rams had opportunities and just, again, unable to put it together. You go back to Week 16, the magic by the Seahawks. Rams had their opportunities to win that game. Also in Seattle, unable to get it done. And you have the Seahawks going to Super Bowl 60 behind the 12, their new dark side defense, which we'll see if it's able to match up with that Legion of Boom and get a Super Bowl done like they were able to in Super Bowl 48 against Denver. But now you got to talk about it. Obviously, this is really huge for Seattle and what it could happen. This is really, in my opinion, the best team in the NFL right now. So they're able to get that game done. And then now it's, since the Rams are done, we got to talk a little bit about what is next for the Rams. Is obviously number one is going to be Matt Stafford. We saw Sean McVay get really fed up yesterday when asked questions about him. I mean, he's going to win the MVP, or at least he should win the MVP award. It really shouldn't be a question. And it's just, you wonder, is he going to want to go out on the MVP now? Because does he think that maybe this was his last best chance of winning a Super Bowl? I don't know, obviously, what's going through his mind, but that's going to be something. Like, he can still play. Obviously, he's going to win the MVP at 37 years old. He's going to turn 38 soon before next season. But, like, is he going to want to come back? I think that's obviously number one that they have to figure out. And then Chris Shula as well, interviewing for head coaching jobs. Will he come back? Obviously, that would be big for them, but will he come back? And where do you look? Do you look internally? Do you look at a guy like Raheem Morris to fill that defensive coordinator spot? You don't know. But if you look at team personnel as a whole, like, they spent a lot of draft capital on the front lines, obviously defensively, the D-line, and contractually offensively. So they've thrown big money on the offense, and they've thrown a lot at the draft defensively. But I think you got to look at this secondary that has shown many vulnerabilities. They've done it twice in the playoffs. They did it with Jalen Coker. He had 9 for 134 and a touchdown in Carolina. In Carolina's loss to the Rams. And then you had yesterday with JSN, he had, I think it was like 10 for 150, 153 and a touchdown. So they need secondary help. If there's a spot that you got to grow on what is already a really good football team, it's going to be there. And so they have $50 million in cap space. They have 2 first-round draft picks. I think you got to really look at re-signing Cam Curl and McCreary. Those are probably 2 of the big secondary pieces that you want to get back for next year. But I think you look at corners, particularly in the draft. They have the 13th overall pick, remember, from Atlanta. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, how they feel about it, because obviously they already have a really good team. They just made the NFC Championship game. They're really good. So it just depends on how they want to use that. Do they want to use that? Do they want to ship off their late first-round pick to get a better pick? We don't know what's gonna transpire there, or maybe they just keep the 2 first-round picks. But I think you really got to look at the secondary for them, and then obviously the special team. And like for the special teams, like, I don't have a suggestion, to be honest, but I think something has to be done about it. Obviously, they've gone through coordinators. We talked about it a little bit a second ago, but special teams is a concern. But at the end of the day, I do think that this Rams front office is run very well. It's voted that way too, as one of the best front offices in football. So do I think that the Rams will be fine? Yes. It just kind of hinges on whether or not Matt Stafford comes back next year for them.